It was the blinking LED that caught the electrician's attention. "What's that?" Mick O'Gara muttered to himself. If it hadn't been for the intermittent flicker, visible only because it cut through the darkness, it would have gone undetected. The light had flashed a moment after O'Gara killed the fluorescents in a storage room on the basement level of the new 38-story Ville St. George Hotel. "Now where did you come from?" O'Gara turned the overhead lights back on and looked around the crowded 14 by 20-foot room. He waited about a minute. Nothing, he thought. The hotel electrician shrugged his shoulders. He was about to leave when he decided to give it one more moment, now with the lights off. 10 seconds went by, and he saw a red flash, dim and off to the right. He waited for it to repeat or cycle again. His patience was rewarded 30 seconds later, though he couldn't quite pinpoint the location. A half-minute more. "There you are, up in the crawl space." The light appeared diffused, indirect. "You're bouncing off something." Mick O'Gara was one of the last hires in the electrical department at Sydney's newest harborside luxury hotel. It overlooked both the famed Harbor Bridge and the stunning Opera House. As a result, the slim 41-year-old man with a bushy mustache and long sideburns pulled the dreaded graveyard shift. He had been poking around the basement, tracing a conduit containing fiber-optic wires. Guests on the 33rd floor complained that their high-speed internet connection was out. It wasn't his specialty, but no one else was around, and he had the time to troubleshoot until his shift change. Unfortunately, and for no good reason, the conduit continued above the ceiling in the small room, but the schematic dead-ended. Another damned design flaw. Why can't they ever get it right? Following it was going to be exhausting. After nearly an hour, O'Gara decided to leave the problem where he found it. That's when he noticed the red flash. He trained his flashlight on the area in the far end of the room. The crawl space was a good 3 feet higher than his head. O'Gara, only 5'7", looked around the room and spotted a wooden cable spool, large enough to stand on. He dragged it over to the wall, stepped up, and peered into total darkness. O'Gara hit the void with the beam. There, sandwiched deep into the opening, was a rectangular box, at first hard to see because it was either painted black or completely covered with black duct tape. He aimed the light at the top and then to the sides. It was wedged into an area no taller than 18 inches. He figured it to be about 2.5 feet long. O'Gara tapped it lightly with his finger. "Tape, not paint on metal," he said aloud. Curiosity was definitely getting the better of him now.